I just need someone to tell me what to do and I'll do it. It's freaking fall. I have been in hibernation and I'm finally ready to change my life again. No matter how long it's been, I inevitably find myself back in this place of, okay, I am so ready for a change, and I don't know how long that will last, but I've been listening to a lot of podcasts lately, and one of them was about how your 20s is kind of supposed to suck, and it was just so refreshing. I just felt like that gave me permission to admit how shitty of a time I've been having. Like, it has really lasted my whole 20s. I am 27 now. I am just so relieved to know that your 20s can suck, because I moved to a different country at 19 technically, so I grew up in a different country in my 20s, and I just feel like for me personally that's contributed to why it has been particularly so hard. Like, on top of going through the pandemic when I think I was like 21 when it started, my mental health was so bad and I had no one to talk to about it, and like not having guidance or people in my life to help me navigate whatever I was going through. I just feel like I was hyper independent and facing everything essentially alone. But I think because I had felt that and not really named it, I was just constantly upset that things weren't going how I thought they should go, and things weren't going the way I wanted them to go. And I feel like I tried so hard to fight it every, I don't know, couple weeks, or like whenever I would muster up the strength and courage to like try again. And then like life would happen again, and I just couldn't handle it because I wasn't dealing with all this stuff prior. Like, I wasn't dealing with the stuff that made me leave the US in the first place, like my baggage, my childhood. I tried to, like I was trying to, but I was trying to just solve myself and not really like mourn. I wasn't mourning that. I wasn't mourning like all the things I needed to really that I've lost in my life. And I think it's just left me like trying to hold on to hope that it will get better instead of dealing with the loss that I felt. And I think because I have felt so lucky in so many ways that I tried to use that as a way to cancel out feeling grief or upset about anything in my life, because how can I be so upset whenever I'm so lucky and I'm so grateful and I have good things in my life? Like, how can I be this depressed and this whatever? Like, I was shaming myself for not being grateful enough and not being happier than I am. And I finally realized that the things that I've lost are not and will never be comparable to the things that I've gained. And I think just acknowledging that for myself has been such a weight off my shoulders. That was a lot for this intro. How you could believe me when I tell you this was cleaned last night. Me and my husband made a promise to each other. One of us always gets home later than the other throughout the whole week. Like, we kind of take turns working later days. Our promise to each other was we'll have the kitchen clean, the high chair clean, like the toys put away. Like, when the other person gets home at like 7:30, 8 p.m., things will be organized, and if there's anything that needs to be done together after, like folding the laundry, we'll do it. And we've been doing that, and I'm telling you, this is just breakfast and lunch. And the problem is I don't have time throughout the day when I'm making my son lunch and me lunch to like clean this up. So then I have to use nap time, my precious, precious alone time, to manage this so that I can function throughout the day, you know? I'll clean this up now. It probably won't even take long. And then my reward is my new favorite coffee, which I'll show you in a second. So the other day, I was really wanting a pumpkin spice latte from Starbucks, but I couldn't commit fully to the pumpkin spice because I just loved the iced caramel macchiato one so much that I was afraid I would miss out. So I got the iced caramel macchiato with a pumpkin spice cold foam, and it is one of the best things in my life right now. We have to clean the ice machine, so I don't have ice. 10 out of 10 would recommend. I am avoiding going to that side of the house right now because I don't want to clean. So yesterday I listened to another great podcast. I've been listening to the Mel Robbins podcast. I'm going to link all the ones that I've listened to in the past couple weeks that actually helped me. So the one that I listened to yesterday that's been really helpful in terms of me changing my behaviors, which is a big deal for me since I've been saying that I felt stuck and frustrated in like the same cycles that I've been in. Something like feeling lost or stuck in your 20s, listen to this. And it was great. She validated a lot about how people in their 20s right now in this generation must be feeling, really validating that it's hard in different ways than other people in generations before us, how it affects the way that we kind of are in freeze mode. I feel like she validated feelings for like a big part of it, and then she asks like, okay, so let's pinpoint what it is for you that you are just not satisfied with, and we're gonna pick that one thing and we're gonna make it into a project and we're gonna work on that for 1 month. And when she said that, I realized I just need someone to tell me what to do and I'll do it. And that's how I feel right now. I feel like she's like, okay, this is what you're gonna do, and this is how you're gonna feel after. You're gonna commit because it's one thing, let's go. And she recommended kind of starting with your health and your body. And I think that's a great place to start because I actually feel like I was doing so good in terms of that, like building healthy habits. I was doing my 10-minute workout. I think I did it for like 3 months straight. I lost a few pounds, and then I just went through a tough time and reverted completely back to my old patterns, which I don't feel good doing that consistently. I love eating cheese fries, but eating them every day, I don't feel great. I don't feel great about it. My main one thing is basically just eating more nutritious. That is a big one. And I feel like I'm doing that. I made a little outline, which this is a little chaotic. We're gonna give that a go. I'm really excited for the salads too because I actually enjoy salads when they're good, but I have a hard time, I don't know, getting inspired. So my idea was to go to the Cheesecake Factory menu and look at those salads. And so I wrote a lot of the ones from there down because it reminds me of home and I can just make it how I want to make it at home. That's the other thing is I've just been trying to call myself out on all the excuses I've been making. I really have been. Like, this has gone on too long. I have deleted my Instagram and my TikTok, and I just realized how much time has been freed up. And I gave my husband my bank card, so I have literally like nowhere to go to spend money. So I am literally forced to confront the things that I was avoiding by not avoiding them. When I don't have those things to turn to, what do I turn to? And I also want to make that part of this project, is just like confronting my excuses and my behaviors and really like making that change. We'll see how it goes.
just cleaning his mess is kind of like a lot already.
I know. Thinking. Cleaning my baskets. I'm proud of us.
No.
I'm low on energy and my coffee isn't slapping today. It's cold in here. I'm sleepy, and I'm cold, and I just want to sleep, but I don't really want to sleep because I want to use my precious time while Kai is at daycare to like improve my life. But I also, the same as yesterday, just want to not do anything. We're folding laundry while I tell you about this concept called slow productivity that I've been learning about in the podcast today. Number one point that I took away so far is that we have kind of all learned this almost fake productivity, which is called pseudo productivity, which is like because people couldn't measure what your real productivity was, like at work, people just kind of judged how productive you'd be based on how active you'd be, how busy they see you being. Therefore, we have kind of confused actual productivity with just being busy, just being chaotic, just being stressed. And therefore, we kind of have to redefine what is real productivity. And in the podcast, which I'll link down below, he said real productivity is what creates value. And one of the best ways to actually create value is by implementing a few techniques and reframes on productivity, which one of the tactics was to quote unquote face the productivity dragon, which means that you're being really honest about the season of life you're in, about what you're going through, and about what your priorities really are, and really narrowing down what you can do. He also gave the example of really successful people like Isaac Newton, Jane Austen, people who have done valuable things in their life that they took decades to complete doing whatever they were doing, and that a lot of successful people weren't necessarily busy all the time, but just very focused on the things that they were doing and doing them well. And then the last thing that I have really taken away from this is that a lot of times whenever we make to-do lists for the day, we're not really making to-do lists, we're making wish lists. And a way to kind of change this habit into doing something more sustainable is making a list of all the things you want to get done, all the things you feel obligated to do, because apparently if you don't make that list, your brain tries to keep it alive. It was compared to having like open tabs on a computer in your mind, and therefore you're distracted. So to kind of keep a place where you have everything that you want to do written down, and then that you actually make time blocks in the day for the focused things that you've prioritized already, instead of unorganized and chaotic and making wish lists. So I've been kind of processing and reflecting about how I kind of compared it to society actually. It's like whenever we think about all the societal norms and expectations that are projected onto us as people, as individuals, as things that we need to be doing in life, as parents, it's kind of absurd. Like just the absurdity of these like random things that we've just identified as the right way or the best way, when actually it has no real ground to stand on. I think kind of comparing that to like our idea of productivity and just like labeling all of like the expectations and projections of it as absurd is helpful. It's been a relief to just be like, this is enough because I say it's enough, because I feel it's enough, because this is what I feel good doing. Yeah, just kind of owning that more, accepting that more. And I know that I'll keep struggling with it because this is not an idea that I've just never heard of before, but it's a reminder. Oftentimes it's not about hearing like the thing that you've never heard before, but just the reminders at the right time that kind of make you reflect and readjust every so often to recenter and hopefully like do something a little bit better, even if it's just for a little while.